Arda Ocal and GlitterXplosion for ESPN ESPORTS here at the ESPN EXP Apex Legends Invitational. It's X Games, Minneapolis, Minnesota, with Snip3down representing Team Reciprocity. Currently in the thick of things, in great position going into day number 2. Just unpack day number 1 for us. How did it go?
Yeah, we just decided as a team that we want to play a certain way, play aggressive, kind of third party some of these games, and placements have come to us because we've played well, but overall we were trying to just get the kills, rack up the points in that sense, and it just worked out really well for us.
Third party especially seemed to work early. You guys were on a roll in the early game. Take us through that success.
Yeah, so we figured, if we can rack up some kills early in the game, then when the game gets to the later points, you get more points for then placements, because 11 through 20 get 0 points. So if you can get kills early there, then you're at least set if you do fall out. And we decided that, if we get the kills early, we'll play a little more passive when we get to the later game. That way, we can still pick up kills by teams trying to push in from the outer circles, and we get a good placement at the same time.
Have you finally ended the controller debate now? Like after day number 1, you guys had a great day 1. Are we finally saying, hey, let's not hate on the controller vibes here?
Yeah, I think Nicewig has done a phenomenal job of kind of killing that stigma as well. His stream has been taken off, and he supports controller players very well. I love the dude. And I think, us getting a win here and just kind of proving that controllers can hang with these top PC players. And, some of the best orgs are here, like all of the best orgs, really. And it just feels great to get that win and represent the controller players proudly.
I mean, you guys had a really solid third party that came in on the first game against my team. So I was a little bit upset about
break
that
one down in detail.
Yeah. Which team exactly?
Rogue.
Okay. Yeah, so, I remember Rogue was stuck on a cliff, and we were kind of in the back end of the circle, and I thought we were going to be in a really bad spot. I actually ended up getting a good angle on one of the guys, hit him for about 100 damage. I told my team right away, I was like, they're trapped, because I saw one of the teammates start portaling away. So they were going to portal into another team because they were panicking, which they did, and I just said, I'm going to sit on this portal because they're going to come right back. So they instantly had 2 people come right back through the portal. We downed them both, and then we just got some free kills right there and were able to push up.
Yeah, it was a little less than desirable, but you do happen to have a lot of experience on LAN. You've been in the esports community for a long time, and there are a lot of teams here that don't necessarily have that same experience. So what is that like for you here as an individual player, but also playing against those inexperienced teams?
Yeah, my teammates specifically, they've never been to the United States or played in a live tournament before like this, so I know the nerves were getting to them a little bit. I took more of a leadership role. I let them use their in-game knowledge. They make the rotational calls, and I just kind of I'm still learning battle royales. Never competed in them before. So I let them make the rotation calls, I follow up, give my input, and I make all the aggressive calls. I make all the calls on whether or not we want to push a team, whether we want to sit back and wait for them to come to us. But they're still confident enough to call me off when I'm making a bad play. They're doing a very good job of staying composed, and I think my leadership has really helped them feel more comfortable here on the big stage.
So as the leader, what will you do with your 2 counterparts? So that's a fascinating story, right? Like you're the one that got invited to this tournament, not Reciprocity, even though you're representing them and you brought your 2 Finnish players with you. So what will happen tonight? What will you lead them through to get you guys prepared as best as possible for day 2?
Yeah, so for day 2, we talked and we said that as soon as day 1 ends, we want to, get some food, gather ourselves, kind of relax a little bit, of course. And when we get back to the hotel, we're going to pull up the stream. We're going to watch, kind of see what some of the other teams are doing, analyze our own gameplay, see where we made mistakes. We already have a couple of them written down in our heads on big mistakes that we made that cost us. We did have a 19th and a 13th. Need to avoid those at all costs. And, it's just going to be collecting ourselves and really looking at what we did right. A lot of people focus on the wrong, but if you can focus on things you did right, it's a really good motivational tool to go into the next day.
Last question from me. Of course, you have an X Games connection, being a Halo champion here at the winter version in 2016. How did that experience compare or differ to what you're experiencing here in 2019?
Yeah, so here in 2019, I never thought I'd be ever back at the X Games competing in another video game, let alone a completely different game than the one I first competed in Halo. And to be here for a second time in the Summer X Games really gives me more of an experience on really how interesting and how cool the people who are at these X Games getting to compete in other sports really are. They're super down to earth, super chill, and I'm just really blessed to feel like I had the opportunity to compete in not 1 but 2 X Games.
No, I mean, I just want to commend you for someone who's not, that experienced in BR, saying that you're not used to this. You're killing it, so.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a little bit intimidating to even get that invite. I was like, wow, I'm going to be competing against all these top Apex players that have come from H1Z1, PUBG, all these other battle royales that I know they've had more experience than me. And I'm just glad that I found teammates that trust in me enough to where I can make play calls and they'll listen just because of my experience. And it really has been a very good team effort so far.
So to recap for those at home, transitioned from Halo, a champion there, a controller player with new teammates who have never been to the United States, who is leading the way and is relatively new to BR.
Right.
Not a bad first day for Snip3down and his teammates with Team Reciprocity. Day 2 will be happening on Saturday. Full coverage at ESPN _esports on Twitter. Thanks for your time and continued success.